little place of mud. It was swept, and I told my friend, do you want to see where Nitai Baba lives? He said, I've never seen such a man. His eyes are on fire. I said, do you want to see how he lives? Yes or no? Yes. He was so humble, famous person, most humble. And he went, I asked permission and I showed him. He lives in a little, the hut is really this wide and this wide, and there is only a little altar in there where he worships Giriraj. The whole place is full of pictures. And my friend asked, and where is he sleeping? And I said, perhaps on this one shelf here. There was a little shelf where there were some books. And it was possible to lay down if you were Nitai Baba. It means very thin, not like us who are having enough pizza, and so on. And my friend was shocked. Tell me about him. Yes, I said, he drinks only the water from Govinda Kund. Wow, said my friend, but that's full of bacteria. No problem. You saw the fire in his eyes. This man is on fire. And where does he shower and anything? Same place, Govinda Kund. He takes every day, even when the temperatures drop in the winter. So next to zero sometimes, next to +1, +2 perhaps. He does take a shower there every morning. This is too cold, my friend said. Did you see his eyes? This man is on fire. My dear devotees, there are 3 types of fire. You know the first fire, that is the fire which you make when you have your fireplace and you bake your potatoes perhaps or your apples in the autumn. That's a fire. Or when there is in Adria, there are forest fires. That's the one type of fire. I think then there is a second fire. This is the Vaishvanara, the fire in the stomach. If you want a good health, my dear devotees, the digestive fire is the most important thing which you have. You must be very careful to not eat too much, because you will extinguish the fire, and once it is low and once it's down, everything you eat will make you fat, even when you only look at a pizza, because the fire of digestion is the most important factor for your health. No, it's a type of, it's a power which burns food. And then there is the third fire, and it is this fire which we saw in our Nitai Baba's eyes. It's called the Sadhana Agni. It's a spiritual fire which helps you to digest the incidents of your life. When you have this inner fire, in the Hare Krishna movement we say, he is fired up. Have you heard this?
Yes.
Yeah. Like, I know a few devotees where we read. I remember Bhakti Granta. I hope he's not here. Bhakti Granta, not here, no? because he will not like them. I praise him. But Bhaktivedanta, when he came to Krishna consciousness, he somehow immediately liked it. I still know when he had come to one of our concerts in Kalimantan, and he had long hair, enough for 5 Serbians, you know. And he became very inspired by the program, and he bought books. And if you still look in his eyes, have you seen how he is on fire? He's very enthusiastic. He's kind. He's not, he's not in a mental bridge, and so on. Have you seen spiritually strong people, and you look in their eyes, there is some violence. It's sometimes in contemporary Serbian art, you will make a circle around their head because these people are fired up. They have the sadhana agni. And for all of us, the sadhana agni, which is done by spiritual practices, is very important for us to digest the incidents of our life, the things that life throws on us, the things which are good, the things that are not so good, and weigh on our soul. It helps to digest this. Now, my dear devotees, how do you light this fire? There are songs. Come on, light my fire. Musicians know this. They start their concerts with a song like "Start Me Up," and I never stop. And they all know the fire, the start the fire inside. How can we do this? Today I will surprise you. I will give a Balkan-friendly lecture. That is, in the Balkans, we have a different atmosphere in our education than in West Europe. I like very much Vijayawada, this place. I read by now something about it. Here, do you know 3 winds meet? Do you know? The Adriatic Sea, Adriatic wind from north, and the third one. And another such place was also Goranga, where we met and had for many years our Goranga camps. Similarly, culturally, in Serbia, that's why I always like also, and the Balkans in general, you find cultural influences coming together, like the winds coming together. And when you're in Germany, everyone is always wanting to get a result, always productive, always on time, and all this. But the original Balkan culture, which is also becoming a little bit influenced by the West, is different. It's a little step by step. And it is more relaxed. And things get done by this way also. I feel also when the West, the mood gets onto Krishna consciousness, it always becomes very typically Western. We must reach this goal, we must distribute this many books, we must open this many temples, we must collect like this. Our Western influence has really entered the Gaudiya Vaishnavism like no other. That's why our movement is creating so much. But when you go to Vrindavan, there's another wind is there in the temple. It is not so zeal-oriented. Zeal means goal-oriented. It is, you find these ashrams, they are not super, some color comes off here, some color comes off there, the brick falls down here, no problem, Swamiji, and so on. It is, and there is a lot to be said about this style of life. See, my dear devotees, when you are focused intensely on an important goal, like the things we have talked about, the Shreya's goal, the ultimate goal, it's easy to slip into thinking, I'm happy only when I achieve this. You become dependent on the achiever's mentality. And in life also, when you always think in your life, I must fulfill a goal, you come into the achiever's mentality, which can create a lot of stress. No? At that time, you put satisfaction, you put satisfaction on a stop. Boom. Satisfaction not now. Satisfaction perhaps in the future, when I reach my goal. Now, I have to work to reach my goal. Now I have to control my senses. Now I have to get up early. And perhaps when I reach the perfection in some future, then everything will be very satisfactory. When I meet my future milestone, then things like satisfaction, gratitude, and devotion are mine. Only then I deserve this. However, when you always look into the future and never experience satisfaction, gratitude, and devotion. Now, my dear devotees, you drain your enthusiasm, you put out the fire, the inner fire, and your motivation along the way. A better approach would be to find meaning during the process. And I want to give you a few suggestions. But before, I must make it very clear to you, we have produced a graphic where Kishori sits. Let us say you are here. And let us say your ultimate goal is there. And the line marks the process. To bring you, please wait, not yet, you're very enthusiastic for this. So if you always think the satisfaction is 20,000 light years away from me when I reach my goal, when I reach my goal, you will, when it's so long, you will sing like George Harrison. I really want to love you. I really want to come with take so long, my Lord. He's already dying for frustration. The satisfaction should be on the way, like Krishna shows you. Here should be where the actual satisfaction and gratitude lies. And if you understand Krishna consciousness properly, my dear devotees, this will be experienced. Rupa Goswami says in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Krishna consciousness is fully satisfying in the practicing stage, and when you have reached fulfillment. Narottama Thakur says the fruit of Krishna consciousness is the same when you begin it as it is when you finally have it. It is only a matter of mature and immature achievement. So enjoy your journey, so to say. I would like to suggest two things. Celebrate small wins. Any time when you are getting up and chanting your rounds, that is a good day. Any time you read and you remember during the day, that's a good day. Or when you finish a certain section of a project, not the entire project, if you can stick to your workout routine or your diet, these are all small victories. Take a pause and celebrate them. Don't rush and always become a goal junkie. No, who must get his goal, otherwise he's not satisfied. Another tip I want to give you on the way is, this is more spiritual, celebrate those Krishna moments. Perhaps on a pilgrimage, perhaps in a kirtan, you had a Krishna moment. Perhaps in the summer camp, you had a Krishna moment. Be grateful for them. Stay with them. Let them sink in a little deeper into your system. Don't allow yourself the thought that only when you have ultimate things you are worthwhile. The problem is you kill yourself and you always beat yourself up with the thought, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, my life is not good enough, because I am not like Nitai Baba at the moment. I don't have that much fire. You have your small wins on the way. And when you become grateful for them, grateful for the things that Krishna gives you, and not thinking all the time for the things which you don't have, my dear devotees, then you will attract more things for which you can be grateful. But if you are not grateful to whatever little wins Krishna gives you, Krishna thinks, I was so dissatisfied with my devotees. I'm trying to give them something, but they only look for the highest things, and they are not satisfied with what I have given them now. No? There is no, there is no better feeling than the feeling of gratitude in spiritual life. Gratitude for what you have been given attracts much, much more than this constant achiever mood, which burns you out because you don't have this at the moment. Small little things, if they are acknowledged in life, if you become, if you celebrate, wow, what a nice sarak camp, what a nice kirtan we had when Madhurika was singing. Oh, I was singing into the kirtan of Goranga Krishna. Oh my God, yesterday there was a pizza. I think I'll make a photo of this and send it to my friends, So these things, it is interesting. Bitterness, disappointment, criticism will attract more of these feelings, and gratitude will feel attract much more. There are many, I don't want to talk too much about this, because you can find it on many self-improvement talks. Oprah Winfrey, the famous American talk show person who is meditating regularly every day, has said, the best thing I've ever done in my life is starting not a normal journal, but a gratitude journal. Every day I try to find what I can be grateful for, and I write it down. Yes, I know, she says, there are many things which don't work out, many things I could be frustrated of, but I have changed my vision into looking for that works out. And I've seen, since I do this, I attract much more of this, the same, and now I couldn't wish anything better for my life than what I live right now. So Krishna. This is a person who I want to quote in order to bring you to this interesting graph. Have you understood this graph? Yes, no, yes. I have put that in yellow. This is the fire of the inner fire there. That comes when you practice gratitude by celebrating the things that Krishna has given in your life. I wake up every morning and I tell myself, Sachinanda Swami, you are alive, you can breathe, you can serve today. Wow! And then I sing and wake up, go Krishna. Sing too loud. This is the next room. He's up before me usually, but I'm just saying, so this is how I'm enthusiastic. Okay. I would like to tell you a traditional story now about the inner fire and how it can destroy all the obstacles of our life. Some of you might have heard this from me already. It's from the Bhagavad Mahatmya. Once there was a very, very glorious man. His name was Atmadeva. He lived at the edge of a forest. He was a Brahmana. And when his first son was born, it was a little unusual because he had great ears like that of a cow. He smiled and thought, Krishna's so nice, he has given me a son, and he called him Go-Kana, means the Kana means ears, and Go the cow. It's a nice name, but it focuses on the ears, His long ears like this. This Go-Kana became a great person because with these big ears, he used to listen to the Bhagavatam. But he had, Armadev had a second son, who was called Dundukari. He was such a disturbance. He was always bitter, always frustrated. And when Dundukari grew up, he was attracted to criminal behavior. He would do impossible things, and Armadev couldn't train him. And one day, in the middle of the night, without telling his wife and his two sons, he left his home in great distress and entered the deep forest where he dedicated himself 100% to the pursuit of spiritual life. when Goranga, the saintly son, saw the example of his father, he decided to go on a long pilgrimage where he would meet many sadhus and learn from them. Now the second born son, the restless son, the Nikov, was together with his helpless mother. And because Dundukari, this wrestler, developed the habit of drinking alcohol, he was young and he drank a lot, he needed money, and one day he took a knife, he put it into the fire, till it was glowing, and then he went to his mother and said, "Give me all the money in the house." Mother said, "No, it is meant for spiritual purposes, your father." He started to put the knife on the skin of the mother and burn the skin. It was a hot knife. "Mother, I can also use the tip of the knife and cut you open very slowly. Give me your money." His wife couldn't believe. Realize? Yeah. So he began to beat his mother. His mother couldn't believe. And then, crying and crying, she gave him a little of the family's little gold which was there. And then in that night when her sinful son was sleeping, his mother Dunduli ran out of the house. She looked into the well and fiercely determined to end her life, jumped into the well and drowned in the well. Dundukari remained cold-hearted. He invited 5 prostitutes to stay with him, and when he was done with one, he went to the next one. And this way he was constantly active, and one day the prostitute thought him he's too extreme for our taste. The night they bound him on his bed with ropes. They started to throw knives into him, not throw, just put knives into him. He was screaming and screaming and screaming. Then one prostitute had the idea. She went to the fire, took the coals out, and put the coals in his mouth and killed him in this way. Dundukari, as a result of this violent death, was reborn, but not in a human body. He was reborn as a ghost. And as a ghost, he came back to the village where he had found the violent death and began to create disturbance there. He was really what you call in America a pain in the neck. So this went on for quite some time until his his brother Goranga, who had been, where had Goranga been? On the pilgrimage, yes, to all the holy places, to here, with his nicely developed ears. And when he returned to the family's old house, Goranga, to spend the night there, Dundukari, who after his violent death had become a ghost, came to that house and appeared before him. First, he took on various fearsome forms. One was of a dreadful shriek, this horn. Then he took on the form of an elephant, then a buffalo, which the same type of buffalo on which Yamaraj rides, and then he came as fire. Goranga was awake, but he remained peaceful and chanted his mantra. And because he chanted his mantra, the ghost could not enter him, could not do anything. Finally, when Dundukari realized that he could not scare his saintly brother, he took on a subtle form where he looked like Dundukari, and in this human-like, ghostly form, he prayed, oh brother, it is me, your younger brother. I'm cursed to be in this body of a ghost, where I suffer miserably. I cannot enjoy anything physical, although I have all the desires to enjoy. Please, do something. But his voice became shrill. To save me! And then he controlled his voice from this condemned existence. I almost feel as if I'm there. Goranga replied, yes, I want to help you, but you're not an easy case. I have to think what I should do for you. And in the morning, Goranga, yes, he sat down for his morning puja. One form of worship of Krishna is to worship him as Surya Narayana. The sun rises, then those worshippers step from out of their shoes, drink their ashman, and say the mantras to Surya Narayana. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. And he begged Surya Narayan until that Surya Narayan appeared before him. And Goranga said, I have this brother and he suffers terribly in his ghostly form. What can I do to deliver him? And Surya Narayan said, well, the best is you invite him to come and have one entire week a recital of the Bhagavatam. If you have this, your brother will become free from the sinful reactions and he will be eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. So Bhagavad Katha was arranged in the village, the whole village was invited, and Dundukari came in a subtle body and he stayed in a bamboo forest. And there he heard the Bhagavatam. And as he heard the Bhagavatam, his ignorance, his lust, his anger, his greed, the delusion, pride, and also the envy went away. And at the end of the recital, when Goranga had finished the entire 12 cantos, a miracle happened. Everyone saw it in the village. Their neighbors saw it. The village animals saw it. From the sky came a divine spacecraft, a Vimana with the Vishnu Dutas. And at that moment there was a loud noise. Wow. It was much louder than this. And Dundukari came out of the bamboo broke, and Dundukari came out, and instantaneously, like there is a lightning after that sound of thunder, boom, first the sound and then the lightning, he took on his a beautiful form with nice yellow dhoti, with a fulgent bluish complexion, and he went to that spacecraft. spacecraft in a body like this rain cloud. And he had actually a garment and a crown. I forgot this. Beautiful earrings dangling from his ears. And the Vishnu Buddha said, "Come, son, you are now ready to ascend with us to the divine planets, the Vaikuntha planets." So Goranga, who had given this Bhagavatam recital, stepped forward and said, "My dear Vishnu Dutas, how is it that you deliver him, but not the other villagers?" And they were hearing also the Bhagavatam reader. "My dear associates of the Lord, in this assembly there are many pure people, pure, and all of them heard the Bhagavatam. Why is it that this happening is come exclusively for Dundikari? Why not for the others? Are they not getting the same result? You must explain this." So the servants of the Lord paused for a moment and then spoke. "Oh, Goranga." There was some very nice music in the background when they spoke. The difference lies in the quality of the hearing. Although it is true that everyone heard the katha, it was not that everyone meditated on what they heard in the same way as Kari. The Kari, the ghost, had an urgent need. He was desperate. He listened as if his life was dependent on it. And therefore he put all his attention on the subjects of the Bhagavatam. He even fasted for 7 days to hear with a totally fixed and attentive mind. And then he meditated upon what he heard with a composed mind. Dundikari had placed all his hope into the listening of the Bhagavatam. So his attentiveness was on a different level than that of all the others. But if one does not hear attentively and lets his mind wander here and there, or nourishes unnecessarily one's doubt, there will be only very little benefit. With this, the Vishnu Dutas turned around. The spacecraft came up. It didn't make a sound, by the way. It was my mistake. And it took off to the square, where everything that needed to be said had been said. So Goranga said, "Okay, everyone, let's make another Bhagavad Katha the next week. And this time you should listen." Yes, in that village, everyone, including the dogs and even the dog eaters, came, ascended to the airship and returned to the Vaikuntha world. My dear devotees, I'm telling you this katha to make you aware that what you do, if you do it properly, is extremely powerful. One proper Hare Krishna mantra, chanted in a real prayerful way, opens the door of the kingdom of God. When you are in the right mood, you can be ecstatic even in a Bhagavatam class. Usually the new devotees, and then they show with a light in their eyes. I've seen one in the audience today. because they're still innocent. They're still, wow, I can't believe I'm sitting next to a Nitai Jiva. So become like this. My dear devotees, your heart should be full of bhakti, of devotion, of gratitude. And it is not always that you have, that this bhakti must be of the highest quality, the prema bhakti, the ninth step on the ladder of Rupa Goswami. Bhakti has different gradations, and if you are on your level fully there, then you have amazing experiences. I want to chant a verse with you from the Bhagavatam. In this verse, it is described what even a little bhakti can do. It melts your heart. When the heart is filled with this feeling of bhakti, it melts the heart. And as a result, it can happen that the hair on your body stand on end. I have seen this with many young devotees. They tell me, Maharaj, after this kirtan, look at my skin. And you go like, wow, that was me 55 years ago. Tears flow from the eyes, and one cries in spiritual happiness. Have you seen this? Yes. For those who can have this childlike bhakti, it is possible. Would you like to chant the Sanskrit verse with me? Yes. Good. I think like this. Katam vinaro mahasham. Gravata chita sabina. Vinananda shrukalaya. Shubhyat bhaktya vinashaya. It tells us how important it is that we melt our ego ice around the heart. My dear devotees, the verse says, if one's hands do not stand on end, how can the heart melt? And I ask you, if the heart does not melt, how can tears of love ever flow from the eyes? If one does not cry in spiritual happiness, how can one render loving service to the Lord? And without such service, how can the consciousness be purified? Only when the heart is filled with bhakti does it melt. And then there are the hells and the tears and the crying in spiritual happiness. And on this level, your service is loving service to the Lord that purify your consciousness. So the question is, this has different gradations. Even when you are a young devotee, it is possible to have these very spiritual experiences. And it happens if you chant the holy name in a specific way, even as a neophyte person. I want to show you this. The picture which you see now, look, is Gopinath, no? You look very, he's Gopinath, the same as on the altar. Or is he different? There is a way to chant and enter the secret of the Lord's presence. Be present and know I am there. You simply put your consciousness on this level. Be present when you chant and know that I'm there. You will feel something of the Lord's presence. And as this happens, your heart gets purified. Prabhupada, he wrote to the devotees after the initiation, now my request to all of you is that you very seriously and sincerely stick to the principles of devotional service and especially observe strictly the 4 rules and regulations without fail. Always chant at least 16 rounds on your beads and daily, and in this way you will be always happy. So I would like to make a little experiment with you. That is bhakti in the moment, bhakti right now, not bhakti in the distant future. Would you like to participate in this experiment?
Yes.
Good. So we meet again. This time we are the Madhurika Bhajan band. Because you can please play. Madhurika and Janavi Bhajan band. So here, in this kirtan, we will pretend to chant the Hare Krishna mantra the first time. Our chanting will not be lip deep, but it will come from the heart. We will sing very slowly, and there are only 2 things you might do. They are found here whenever your mind goes somewhere else. You can just look there. Be present and know that I am there. You can also look from time to time at the picture, which is enlarged. See the difference in this chanting belief. We do not believe at this moment the story only after many lifetimes will I be near to Krishna when I chant. We don't believe this. This is a story which comes from the Western conditioned mind. And we will follow Prabhupada's instructions in 68. Chant, and you must know that Krishna is present and dancing all the time. So we will be absolutely in the moment. I will request you to sit tall. We will do a little centering exercise. In the 3rd canto, you will find that deep breathing, the mind is purified. Sit straight. In this moment, we have nothing else to do than just be in this for 5 minutes only when we start. this. If you have mobile telephones that are on, please put them on the flying mode. You will fly now. I don't think that is the right mode or a system off. And to bring yourself out of a normal mind, I request you to bring your focus, it's got the Adharana, first into the body. Try to feel your feet. If you can't feel them, like most Westerners, you can just move the toes and then you will start feeling them. Move your attention from the feet up to your knees and to your sitting bones. Relax. Move them up to the lower back and the spine and the upper back. Relax. Your stomach, our belly, relax. The chest, relax. Those arms, hands. Relax. Shoulder. Relax. So you need to do this a little more. Yeah. So much tension in your shoulders. Relax. Just let it, as if they move or sink or go in the direction of the floor. The neck and the back of your head. Your forehead. Relax. The eyes and the eye holes, or what do we call them, the caves of the eyes. Relax. Now bring your attention to your breathing. Some of us have such a flat breathing, do you notice? Let us open the lungs a little by breathing out a little longer than we usually do. You can even do a sigh. I don't hear you. Yes, and then breathe in. Breathe a little. That's so good. Now bring your attention to the heart space. It's here where devotion lies. And try to sing now to Krishna. Just try to be in His presence. No, you are present. You should be present, and you should know that He is also absolutely there. beginning we are usually a little present, or present for a little time. No problem. It's an exercise inside. So without usually time, I wanted to say, it is assumed Krishna is present after all the days we see. Krishna is the we see now. Allow me to end my seminar with two little remarks. One comes from ISKCON, one comes from Vrindavan. Prabhupada had given initiation. He had said to the initiates, as soon as you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna is present on your tongue. The next day, the initiates came to him and said, Prabhupada, we chanted Hare Krishna and we fell asleep. We didn't feel Krishna was in our tongue. Have you told us the truth? And Prabhupada gave an analogy, and this analogy has stayed with me throughout my life. He said, see, you were drowning in the sea of material existence, and somehow you came in contact with this Krishna consciousness and with this Sankirtan, chanting of the holy name. You were brought out of the sea, on the deck of the ship. Just like people who were drowning, when they are saved, they are not immediately back to full consciousness. When they lie on the ship deck, in their minds they are still drowning, but they lie actually on the ship deck and they are out of the water. In the same way, in your mind there is still the material existence, and you think everything is the same, but it is very, very different. That's my first story from Israel. Now my second story from Vrindavan. We run a little charity in Vrindavan called Braj Camp, where we support widows and the ashrams and schools. 2 schools, we have one at Govardhan and in Amiyor actually, when you pass it in your Parigram. And there is this one widow ashram, I stayed just next to the widow ashram for 2 weeks last year. They have shifts. Like you have shifts in factories, okay, from so-and-so to so-and-so, you work. They have chanting shifts. One, I think starts at 5 o'clock in the morning and runs up till 8 o'clock, and another is around noontime, 11 to 2, and the third is again in the evening. And a few hundred widows come together and chant at that time. Before the ashram, there was this little young bull who was resting and listening, and 2 dogs. They also belong to the chanting crew. One of these times, I went there and talked to this one widow lady who there was so much fire in the eyes. She was fired up, people say in Islam. And I asked her, what is chanting for you? And she just laughed and said, it's Swaga and Vaikuntha. When I'm inattentive, I feel that I'm in heavens, and when I'm attentive, I feel I'm with God. So I very much like this answer. My dear devotees, in this lecture, we will go back to our slide from Krishna. It is the first slide we chose. I wanted to say, you are here and your goal may be very distant. It's like the ski flag goal. And please try to make your spiritual life free from the stress of the achiever and live your spiritual life like a celebrator who celebrates on the journey all the gifts that are given to them as they move on. And if you open your eyes to this perspective, you will be happy and satisfied on the journey. You should not put it like in the back. I like this. You should not be like the people who complained to Prabhupada that it didn't work. You should be like that person who said, even if I'm not in my best, I feel it's a divine, it's almost a heavenly atmosphere. But if I manage to focus, then I'm with Krishna in this virtual world. No, this is what I wanted to say. I thank you so much. I was very, very happy to be with you again. I must thank all of you for your kindness upon me. Also those who have done garlands, have given us a room, we have gotten olive oil, and we have gotten good prashadam here and there and everywhere. But most important, I saw that like yesterday you were fired up. You had the, what is this Agni? The sadhana Agni, the fire of spiritual practice shining in your eyes, and you proved that the satisfaction can be there on the way if you just allow yourself to be present to the presence of Krishna. Wow, Madhava Muni, in the summer camp you've taken sannyas or manatras. What has happened? Have you discussed this with your family? Okay, I've said what I wanted to say. I want to see, Madhava Muni, you're here to give we have still 15 minutes to go. We have, good. So I want to see if you have any questions to all this. Questions that enrich the discussion and bring it deeper, or any questions. No? I saw one devotee raising there. We have a microphone for you.
Maharaj, Krishna is always present. We simply don't feel him. It is our inattentiveness. That is, Krishna is always present like a constant emitter, radiator. The issue is simple that we don't perceive him. And not only in the holy name when we do japa, but in the everything that exists.
Yes.
How to see Krishna not only in holy name, 24 hours.
Yes, this is a very good practice. Is it possible for you to repeat the question in the local language? Or do you only have it in English? Oh, no, you know Croatian or also
Russian.
Russian. Russian. Very good language. So, Nityanandakari, say the question. Did you understand it? Krishna is always present. But everywhere, how can we perceive His continuous presence?
Krishna je prisutan svugdje, ne samo u svijetom imenu. I onda je pitanje kako možemo da imamo to iskustvo Krishne 24 sata dnevno.
I'm very happy that you asked this question. Perhaps 25 years ago, one of my best friends in Krishna consciousness made this point to me that Krishna is always present everywhere. And he said that he understood Prabhupada like this. And some people asked Prabhupada, have you seen Krishna? He said, yes. And you can also see Krishna. Now? Yes. And then Prabhupada said, have you tasted water? Yes. Krishna is, wow, the taste of water. He didn't say it like this. He's the shining of the sun. He's the strength from the air. He's the sound in the air. He's the fragrance of the trees. And in this way, you can perceive Krishna everywhere. And he said to me, Sachinanda Swami, do you believe this, what Prabhupada constantly preached? I said, I'm trying. Then he said, I recommend you to read one book. It was written in the 16th century by a very normal person, and it is a spiritual classic. Spiritual is not in the Gaudiya line, but spirituality you can find in genuine spiritual traditions and in the heart of genuine spiritual people. So this book is called the Practice of the Presence of God. In English it says like this. It describes this simple man who was given a spiritual name by the, I think, Carmelites, that's a certain order. His name was Brother Lawrence. And Brother Lawrence describes, he was once going outside, it was winter, and he saw a tree without leaves. And he thought, soon this tree will have leaves, because spring comes. And when the spring comes, it will also have flowers. And for him, this was a sign of God's presence. God had animated this dead matter with the life functions. And he turned into, he became so inspired and so fired up by this sadhana, that he entered a monastery, and he was a simple cook in the monastery. Also he couldn't walk so well with one leg, and maybe it was polio, I don't know. And he talks in very simple language, how he always reminds himself when he's in the kitchen washing the pots, everywhere God's presence is. And as he does this, he feels ecstasy and love, which is coming from his heart. And he began to talk to many people. Many people came to him. I think he couldn't write. He was a simple man, as I said. But there are some, but he must have dictated letters. And some of the letters I've seen, which he has written. And there, in these letters, it is that he talks about the presence of God. So God is for you either everywhere or he is nowhere. You decide by what philosophy do you want to go. Both are philosophies in the beginning, but the first one, God is everywhere, brings love in your heart. Is nowhere, brings bitterness in your heart. So you judge by the results. So yes, this is a practice which you can also do. In our tradition, we would sing everywhere. We will sing, but because we want to not just neutral be there, but we glorify Him. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We just glorify Him. Did you ever think about that the word kirtan means to glorify? To glorify, to make great the qualities of someone else. So Krishna Kirtan is our way to remind ourselves. But really, we just had the Purushottam month, and every one of the possible practices which you do during this time is to chant the 15th chapter of the Gita every day. And that chapter is very interesting. It talks first about the material world and how we are in this world because of desires which we want to fulfill here. And our desires take deciding on what branch of the we are active in this world. Then it says, but there is another word of which this word is a reflection. It is the spiritual word. And one should use the weapon of detachment. One should open his eyes and become disillusioned with this world and remove the world. And that is done by a practice. That is the fifth shloka. We practice non-attachment and non-ego and such things. And in this way we go to the spiritual world. Then it describes the spiritual world as a place where there is always light. There is no need of sun and fire and moon. It's self-illumined. And in the Purple Prabhupada said, one should become enthusiastic by this information that there's a spiritual world and want to go there. And then it says, those who are not enthusiastic, who are not interested in this, it describes Mamai Mamso Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. The Jiva Bhutas, the living entity that is connected with the Bhutas, the elements of this world, 5 gross, 3 subtle, and it describes how they are struggling to find satisfaction by trying to find sense objects for the ears, for the nose, and so on. They struggle, and this struggle is then described, it doesn't take place only in one lifetime. They leave the old body because they have not been satisfied there and go to the new body. And then it talks about the process of transmigration. Then comes the part. So I'm sorry to be so long, but I'm still, under the influence of the 15th chapter of the Gita. Then it describes how, it was describing about the people who take birth and birth and birth and birth in this world. Then it describes how they, even when they are in the world, they can see God. I am the light of the sun. I am the light of the moon that gives juice to the vegetables. I enter every body as a fire of digestion in the stomach, which digests your pizza. So if you have digested your pizza, well, that was Krishna inside you. And it describes how he is the intelligence of the intelligence and how he is even helping you to forget him and gives you arguments how you can forget him. So it just gives you a full picture of God and his two manifestations, the material world, how you can meet him here, and the eternal spiritual world. It's a beautiful chapter full of wisdom and insights, and if you like, you can read it. It's very, very nice to read. Yeah, practicing the presence of God is very powerful here in this world, and it is very good. It will help you to be on this, to not see him there only as in your goal, but see him as you do your journey. I once saw one Vaishnava, one older Vaishnava. He came to me. He came. It was Mahavishnu Goswami, our Lord Krishna knows him, isn't it? He just had come by airplane from Los Angeles to London, and he said, if I say I have come from Los Angeles to London, he was sitting there, he said, I would be lying. That's interesting. Krishna brought me from Los Angeles to London. And he arranged that I could take an airplane and so on. Presence of Krishna everywhere. your life will be sublime. Your journey will be sublime. And you won't be in that constant pressure of the poor achiever who has not yet achieved his goal. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj, for answer. And one more little question about...
Can we perhaps give the microphone to another one? And then, because then everyone has a chance. No? Good. Here is Krishna Laya, who was making a Jabberwock today.
I would like to ask something connecting to this, to feel Krishna's presence. And there is one devotee who once said that I want to have a God who comes with me to the marketplace. And this is just one sentence. And also we saw once a theater play in Goranga that the devotees were playing that Krishna was like person always next to the devotee and watching how is he chanting, how is he doing the offering and everything like this. So, because now we were speaking mainly about to feel his arrangements, to see his arrangements and he in the nature and the taste of the water. Is it proper to I don't know if it is a good word, imagine that he's just sitting next to me always, like also in this theater play.
Oh, nice. I liked Bhaktiyananda Tirtha Maharaj's answer this morning. He said there are gradations in your spiritual life, and then when Mataji, the wife of our sound, our second sound name, Tatpuru, is his name Tatpurusha. What is the wife's good name? Gandharika, perhaps? Padma Sundari, I'm sorry. She said she has noticed that children need one thing when they are in one level of understanding, and when they are older, they are needing, they will see things in a different way. So, when you are maturing in your spiritual life, you actually will see the Lord in your heart, the Lord on which you meditate, in Trivanga form. Once Prabhupada was asked by a very wonderful god brother of mine who left his body a few years ago, is Krishna always with me, like the God? C.G. Jung would say that the God, the close God, not the distant God. You can also say the one who comes with me to the marketplace. No? That's also a good way to say it. And but Charu Maharaj wanted to know the same thing. He said, Krishna in his forearm form, and Prabhupada answered, no, for you, because you're a devotee of Shyam Sundar Krishna, he's there in his two-armed Vrindavan form. So he's definitely there. But what that means, Krishna Laya, you will see in gradation. You know? Yesterday, a devotee was with me, who liked me very much. And he said, we were walking, and he said, you know, Prabhupada said we will have our ISKCON in the spiritual world. Will we be there? And will Madhva be there? With the jokes and so on. I said, Prabhu, have you ever heard we are not the body? Do you see me at the moment? You don't see me, you only see my body. The Satchidananda Swami who will be there in the spiritual world will look totally different than the poor soul born in North Germany with this North German accent. although you like him like this, due to your condition, nature, but I'm not that, you're not seeing me. And in the same way, the Krishna who is always with you might be different than on an Hungarian Krishna painting. Very beautiful, feminine eyes and gestures. He might be different. So yes, but yes, Prabhupada said he's always with us and he's right in the heart. Do you know the heart, my dear devotees, is a place where God is and where the soul is? Do you know this? Right there. The Upanishads say that of the tree of the body, the specialness, there's the soul and the soul is there. Wow! God is there in the heart with all of us. But how that looks, that we will realize according to our spiritual maturity. But please go with Krishna in the marketplace and choose the various vegetables, and he said, yes, it is possible. And with Dharma, you find many devotees like this. They say, would you like this or that, Krishna? No, this, okay. And so on. And some are childlike in the face, and some are extremely developed. Who can tell who is who? I have reached my time. We have a good bye evening now. I will request Mahatma Muni in his sannyas t-shirt. No, it's a no.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's
Guru Kuli. Shishya. Hare Krishna. So dear devotees, so we will have Gaura Arati, and then say goodbye. Actually, tomorrow we will say.
no, not today.
Not today. Yeah, but we will have some nice program tonight. Maybe flavored with one more kirtan. I don't know who is available for that, but we will have Nemnik, and Krishna Chaitra Maharaj made something with his seminar group, so that will be definitely something. And yeah, I have a request. We're leaving soon, so please, what? Passports. Yeah, there are some passports and IDs in the reception. Have you noticed that no one is there on the reception? we just got this hotel and there's only one sweet lady, she's cleaning, and yeah, they're just...
Everyone escaped.
Yeah, we can do whatever we like, I think. Maybe we can stay a few days more. Yes. And please take care of, this is experience now speaking. We have many boxes which is written lost and found 2006. And there is big lost and found 2007. And yeah, it's really, and we are bringing these things like, I don't know what. And so please take care that you collect all your things, all your deities. Yeah, every year one deity stayed with us. Like, once it was Tulsi, yeah. Children, yeah. So, yeah, actually, it helps us if you take your deities immediately after. Immediately after the morning class, yes, because even if it is one day, it's really hard to unpack it, but there is like 1 million needles there, and we have to, nicely put everything down, and we have so many services. Actually, this is a good opportunity to, if you can stay and help, this counts much more, much more. Like I like this example when Bhaktivinoda Thakur was asked, what service is most valuable? And she said, the service which is needed. And then he gave the example, like what service he would like to do for Srimati Radharani, where and how. And he mentioned he want to help Srimati Radharani and Gopis on the Kurukshetra field. Because for all of them this was disaster. Like they went far from their comfort zone, Vrindavan, to meet Krishna, and it was like nothing was there, like crazy battlefield, and it was really it was really good opportunity for someone to at least facilitate that situation. So tomorrow, for those who can just help us to put so many things, and kitchen is really like Kurukshetra. So I was seeing some heroes these days washing the plates, washing the pot, cleaning and cutting the vegetables. It was Anyway, so you wanted to. Where is she? Oh, she is here. Okay. So please stay for the last Gaurarati and be ready, because after we will have some evening program. Hare Krishna.
Ya, o very good kamerasında.